Hello, everyone, and welcome to Las Vegas for a brand new season at the heart of poker's ultimate competition, the World Series of Poker main event. Everyone still remembers Adrian Mateos' performance in the 2024 edition, a masterclass at the highest level, one that redefined what we can expect from poker's flagship series. For Team Winamax players following in Adrian's footsteps this year, getting a more impressive result will be quite the challenge. But motivation is running high within the Red W squad, who've been stacking impressive results all summer long in 2025. Joao Vieira won his fourth bracelet in the 100,000 high roller and reached two more final tables soon after. Adrian Mateos once again went on to claim his fifth bracelet. Meanwhile, Romain Lewis, Julian Sitbon, Mustafa Kanit, and Davide Kitai have all shown remarkable consistency, making impressive deep runs one after another. And to dive into poker's most prestigious competition, who better to guide us than this man, Davide Kitai, a veteran of Team Winamax since 2008, a World Series regular with 3 bracelets to his name, and the undeniable star of your favorite series with 38 episodes filmed since the first season. The main event is the one Davide dreams of winning someday, more so than any other tournament. He hasn't missed a single edition since the start of his professional career, almost 20 years ago. Today, for the first time, he's taking you behind the scenes, minute by minute, to reveal the inner workings of his favorite event, his thought process, his flashes of genius, and the full range of his strategy. $10,000 to enter, almost 10,000 players expected to attend. One shot, once a year, a one-of-a-kind tournament from the perspective of a one-of-a-kind player. Take it away, Dav.
Ah, comment t'as fait pour monter 210K en un day? C'est beau, c'est un très beau day one. T'as eu du jeu un peu?
Ouais, j'ai full jeu. Honnêtement, j'aurais pas pu finir avec moins, je pense. Je sais pas si tu te souviens, on avait parlé, je crois, à Monaco. On avait une conversation où tu m'avais expliqué qu'il fallait avoir un plan de jeu un peu pour chaque profil et un plan de jeu global un peu. Et c'est un truc qui m'a beaucoup aidé pour le day 1 parce qu'en fait, surtout sur le main event, tu sais, c'est quand même un tournoi spécial où il y a beaucoup de mecs complètement amateurs, beaucoup de mecs qui sont qualifiés sur des petits tournois, etc., sur des petits satellites. Et en fait, là, j'avais vraiment un plan de jeu pour chaque mec. Il y avait une meuf qui faisait que folder, donc je faisais que la bluffer, je collais tout en position. Un mec qui s'en foutait, donc je voulais jouer qu'en value, donc c'était vraiment ça. Donc c'était un conseil qui m'a bien
la
aidé.
Stratégie, c'est super important dans ce tournoi.
C'est quoi, toi, ta strat sur ce tournoi spécifique?
Ouais, mais c'est un peu ce que tu as dit, sauf que j'ai tellement une grosse notion de survie que je me dis, putain, il faut que j'en trouve des coups pour monter à 210 000 au jour 1. J'ai une grosse notion de survie, donc souvent je perds un peu de la value. Donc j'ai eu ça, genre un type me 3 bêtes, j'ai 2 rois, j'ai peur, quoi, je n'ose même pas 4 bêtes. Ouais. J'ai un peu trop peur de bust le day 1, j'ai un peu travaillé là-dessus justement pour moins avoir peur de bust, mais dans l'absolu, le jour 1, je la joue tranquille, quoi. On démarre 60 000. Mon objectif, c'est d'avoir plus que le tapis de départ. Je suis détente, je force pas, quoi.
Ouais, mais en fait, surtout, tu as des livraisons où les mecs... En fait, tu as quand même des mecs qui...
Ouais, c'est vrai. En vrai, tu attends les livraisons. C'est ça le truc, tu as besoin d'une ou 2 livraisons dans le day, tu vois. Et puis, la vraie strat du day 1, c'est craquer des paires d'as au vieux, quoi.
C'est vrai, c'est
ça. Tu sais que voilà, tu vas payer 2 blinds avec 5 et 6 off et le flop, tu vas faire 4, 7, 8 ou 5, 6 dames.
Ouais, il va bête.
Et tu lui prends tout quand il a 2 as, quoi, mais tout. Ouais,
je vais dire un truc de ouf. Je vais dire un truc de ouf. Dans le day que j'ai joué, à 12h30, il y avait déjà 6 bustos.
Donc... Il n'y a pas trop, toi, ta bust plutôt l'année passée.
J'ai bust première main.
C'est ça.
Mais surtout, si jamais, je dis pas ça parce que tu es mon ami, mais si jamais j'avais à mettre mes économies sur quelqu'un, sur un main event WSOP, je les mettrais sur toi. Donc voilà, okay. Ne me déçois pas.
C'est gentil, mais je vends pas de part cette année. Allez, good luck, je te rejoins à 200K au day 2.
Let's go.
Deal.
Allez.
Allez, papa, il va, les amours, je vous aime. Tu dis good luck?
Allez, good luck.
Bisous, mon amour.
Bisous à papa.
Au revoir, Vivi. Au revoir, Delphine. Allez, je vous aime. Good luck.
It's nice to be in this villa. I've been sharing a villa with Pierre and his family for several years now, and with my family also. It's a perfect balance.
Hello.
Today's the big day. It's the World Series of Poker main event. I train all year for this day. Every year I try to improve. I work on my game with that goal in mind. Well, I have this dream of winning this tournament one day. I've been playing it for 19 years. Today is day one. Survival is key. Getting through day one is the goal. The WSOP has been going well so far. I've cashed a lot. I had a lot of deep runs. I'm getting a better and better understanding of the American amateur player's profile. I'm getting good at exploiting the weaknesses in their game. And so I feel really confident. I feel quite a bit of pressure walking into this room. It's normal, it's the World Series of Poker main event. It's a big day. But once I'm seated at the table, everything will be fine. I quickly analyzed the table on the new WSOP app. It looks pretty decent to me. I don't know anyone. Mind you, they always add players at the last minute, but I feel like the table is pretty good. A lot of American players who have a lot of cashes in big fields, so typically the American player profile who plays fairly tight, I reckon. And again, I'm going to be observing a lot at the start of the day, and perhaps there are one or two players that are more aggressive or who are capable of bluffing, so I'll really need to profile my opponents well at the start of the day.
Hello, sir. Hello. 34-2. Let's go. Yeah.
I'm the first to arrive at the table. That'll give me time to watch them arrive. Just from their appearance, I'll get quite a few clues.
60 pages.
Okay, cool.
A Winamax logo. And there we go. I'm being followed by Inside the Mind of a Pro today.
On va te voir dans la tête d'un pro bien longtemps.
Au moins 15 épisodes. Hein.
Merci, good luck à vous.
Welcome players to the 2025 World Series of Poker main event. This is flight D of our main event. We are going to be warming up and waiting until they're ready to go on the horseshoe side. I'll give you another 10-second warning.
Good luck.
Alright, players and dealers, button C9, 100 small blind, 200 big blind, 200 big blind empty. 1, 2, 2. Dealers, please shuffle up and deal.
All right, brilliant. Here we go. We're six-handed, so that's really great. The table looks really pretty good, so that's good news. I'm going to be able to play a lot of hands, be aggressive. Americans often play too tight six-handed, so we can steal a lot. I'm also going to take advantage of this to build an aggressive player image. That's a bit my style. We're so deep, we have 300 big blinds. 6-7 of spades. I'm in the big blind against a raise from the button. This is typically the kind of hand I love. I could call, of course, but I like to be aggressive right from the start.
16.
3-bet, that's not bad. This is the kind of hand I like to 3-bet when I'm very deep. Alright, cool. It's always nice to win the first hand. These are 2-hour levels, so I really have plenty of time to see how things develop, to analyze my opponents.
400.
This player opened for a second consecutive hand. I have Jack Queen of spades. Both options are fine. I think I prefer to just call to get the big blind involved. It's a hand that plays very well post-flop. It's the kind of hand I like. I want to see a flop early in the tournament. You can hit some really good flops. Here I hit top pair. Oh wow, this player donk bets. Generally Americans, when they donk bet, it represents a fairly average hand, but at the same time it can't be a pure bluff. I can see him donk betting a hand like top pair with a weak kicker. I'm feeling pretty good here. I have a backdoor straight draw and a backdoor flush draw. The turn doesn't change much. Here typically he could bet to check back on the river if he has a hand like Queen 10. He can sometimes have draws like 9-10 of hearts or even 9-10 offsuit. Oh dear, he's making quite a big bet here. Here though, I would have thought he'd bet a bit less with a hand like Queen 10, Queen 9, Queen 5 suited. This sizing worries me a bit. I think I have a hand that's too strong to fold. I can't fold at this stage, especially since he might really check back. I don't think he's going to bluff the river too often. He doesn't seem like that type of player. I don't have many reads on him yet though. But from what I've seen based on his results, this is a big buy-in for him. I don't think he's a big bluffer. He has a lot of cashes. So alright, I'm going to call here. I'm going to take my time to really discourage him in case he's bluffing, to not make him want to continue his bluff on the river. The river isn't bad, an ace. There's no reason for him to have that many aces in his range. Oh dear, he's getting his chips ready to bet. Ah, he bets again, quite a big bet. In the end, what are the hands that beat me? His strong hands are 2 pair. Queen deuce suited, Queen 8 suited, that's just 2 combos. He has 3 combos of pocket deuces and pocket 8s that make a set. Every now and then he could have a hand like ace queen. He could even have Queen 6 suited too. But what are his bluffs in the end? His bluffs could be a hand like 9-10 for example, which makes a double gut shot on the turn. And on the river he feels forced to bluff. I'm going to think about this call, give it some thought. This donk bet. Would he really donk bet a very strong hand like a set? I'm not sure, but oh well. I don't see him bluffing, he looks pretty comfortable. First hand, I don't see him particularly bluffing here. I don't have many reads on the player, but he's not the type of player who's going to over bluff. I think these players are fairly tight. Against an American, I don't want to make a hero call like that at the start. Put myself, lose 10,000 already on the first hand. I don't think I'm going to be able to call. I'm still thinking, I'm watching him, I'm analyzing his tells, but I think I'm clearly going to fold.
Floor 134.
They call the clock, it's not a big deal.
Floor
I like to
134.
tank at the start.
Clock on
It will not make him want to bluff me in future hands later on.
Yes.
My goal on day one is for people not to bluff me too much. It's easier to play. Alright, I don't know what you have, but I think you've got it. Alright, I fold. Alright, it's a small pot, it's not a big deal. It's good, I'm taking my time, it impresses my opponents a bit. I'm showing presence. People will often remember all day the first hands played, it's very important. It's a common cognitive bias. Alright, I continue playing hands that aren't theoretical. I'm going on the assumption that the table is very tight. I want to build this image for myself.
That's it.
It's a flop that favors my range quite a bit, but oh well. I'm not particularly keen to 3-barrel, but in any case, what's certain is that I'm going to c-bet.
600.
Alright, great. It's nice to win small pots, and then the big hands will start coming.
The watch is nice, but I would wear the bracelet.
You prefer the what bracelet?
Yeah, that's what I would wear. The watch is nice, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my man.
I also prefer the bracelet.
Do you? That's what's up.
My two neighbors to my right and left seem really nice.
I hope we're heads up for it.
You never know.
I really don't think, given his personality and his results, that he's a player who bluffs a lot. I don't really see any player at the table who seems very dangerous. Jack Queen. I'm going to defend, of course, 300 to add.
That's up.
That's a nice flop. I made a pair. He bets. I'm going to call nice and easy. He doesn't bet big. A small sizing. This type of profile might have overprotected with big hands such as Ace-King, since there are quite a few draws. This sizing actually reassures me. He checks back. I often have the winning hand. The river is nice. I think I often have the winning hand here. I think I can value bet. There are quite a few draws that missed, flush draws. But I can't bet too much though. I also like betting small. That way when I bluff I can also use small bets in the future. Alright, that wins perfect. I think at that price he really wanted to see my cards. He can call me really light. Alright, these are small pots, it's good for confidence. Jack 8 of hearts, I'm gonna call.
Three-handed.
My flop isn't too bad. I have a pair, a backdoor straight draw, a backdoor flush draw, and a gut shot draw. I'm going to check. There's not much point in betting. He bet 700. After having checked the flop, he could typically have tens. I could raise to bluff, but I don't even particularly need to. I want to keep the pot small. I sometimes have the best hand and I can improve.
Heads up.
The river isn't great. 8-9, I win. My kicker plays cool.
Hey, Jack.
It's interesting nonetheless to see that he opens 8-9 off on the button, which is perfectly fine, but I should note that he has a profile that's perhaps a bit loose after all compared to other Americans his age. Mind you, it's still pretty standard to open this hand. I shouldn't draw too many conclusions from it either. Oh wow, a very strong hand.
600.
Alright, my friend in the small blind calls, that's good. I dominate a lot of his range.
Heads up.
If I hit top pair, he could have slightly weaker hands. And there we go, top pair. I'm obviously gonna see bet.
700.
A slightly shaky call. The hands that beat me would be ace 5 suited, ace jack, a set of fives. It's not impossible, but oh well. That's a really nice card right there. Yeah, I need to bet big though. I have a lot of value to extract. I can get called, of course, by all the aces, by all the jacks. I don't see him folding a jack here. He can also sometimes have a jack plus a flush draw. Hands like jack queen of clubs or something like that. In any case, I don't see him folding a jack against me. I'm gonna make a big bet. 26.
26.
Close to pot size seems good to me. Alright, I don't see him folding much. Brilliant, perfect. Come on, a nice river, preferably not a club. The queen of spades, that's not bad. I'm not saying he can never have ace queen, I'm not even sure he'd 3-bet that. There are still some hands that can beat me from time to time. A jack can fold now on the queen. If he has jack queen, he's not going to fold. Here there are a lot of draws that missed, so I think he's going to call me quite a bit. The choice is the sizing. Generally, I want to bet big here, but I think I'm going to bet much less to make sure I get called. 37.
37. Call.
He snap called. That makes me regret the sizing. I might not have made it big enough. Oh, I didn't make it big enough. Think longer. I like the idea of having a showdown from the start so they can see I'm not bluffing.
So did you win a bracelet this year?
Not this year.
What bracelet is he talking about? Which one?
That's a change.
He's got multiple ones to choose from. He's
Yeah.
got 3. Either one.
The last one was 11 years ago.
So you're due, huh?
What?
So you're due.
What means?
You're due to win another.
Ah,
It's been 11 years.
yeah, especially the main event.
That's the downside of this app. They can also see my results, so they're talking to me about the bracelets I've won and all that. The advantage is that I can also see their results. It gives quite a few clues, but at the same time, they're going to respect me all the more. They're not going to want to bluff a world champion. So I'm going to be able to bully the table even more comfortably.
Call.
So here he limps, even though he raised 8-9 offsuit.
You say call, right?
I'm going to defend 9 deuce, mainly because they're not too dangerous. At a tougher table, I probably wouldn't have called this 9 deuce, but here I'm fine with it.
300.
So the flop is pretty good. I'm going to lead on this flop. That's cool.
300.
My top pair is often good here. If I check, it's going to check back too often. There'll be a bad turn, so I'd rather lead. That's fine. The turn is an ace. Strangely, it looks like a bad card, but it's not bad at all. On the button, I think he would have raised all his aces. They don't have a lot of aces in their range, so it's a nice card. I can still value protect comfortably.
600.
They both call me. I still think I often have the best hand. Sometimes they can have a better kicker. The river, queen of clubs. I don't think I have any more value here to bet. I'm clearly going to check. However, if they bet, I'm going to be tempted to call. All the draws missed. Alright, it's a winner. It's good to show a 9 deuce offsuit at showdown and win a pot. All of this is good for my image. The start of the day is going really well. Another big hand on the button.
Raised 600.
Jacks.
Alright, I show them. On the first level, the goal is really to build your image.
Kissing them heaters on the button, that's illegal right there, man. You raise every hand, then a button you catch monster. I ain't messing with you, man.
Yeah, ace king, then fucking jack.
Yeah, I know. I had a monster that when he had the ace king.
Wow.
I thought I had him where I wanted him. I thought I had you that hand. I ain't gonna lie, I thought I had you.
The hand just below was ace 10. So maybe he had ace 10. That makes me regret that bet a bit. I could have bet big, almost over bet. Ace 8 of hearts.
Raise.
That's the kind of hand you want to have on the first level. These are hands that can hit the nuts.
Raised 19.
I kind of felt like a block, like
Say 18 or 19?
19.
I'm not going to fold to the 3 bet, even though this player seems a bit tight to me. He's a stud player from what I've seen. He has a lot of cashes in stud. Stud players are often very nitty. Oh dear, I've completely missed this flop. It hits his 3 bet range. I'm not putting another chip in this pot. I'm going to watch him though. How much is he betting? A small 2/3 pot bet.
Bet.
I'm obviously going to fold, but I still need to watch him a bit to impress him a little and think about it. I watch how they react. This could be crucial later on. And above all, I need to impress him a bit so that he avoids bluffing me too much later. You never know. But I'm obviously going to fold. All right, no big deal.
Remember that happened in the massage class 5, 6, 7 days ago. They do a very good job. Right? Yeah, I do. Back surgery twice in the last year.
Another under the gun open. I
Raise.
think under the gun is a good spot to open quite a few hands. In the big blind, I think he's defending a bit too much. And then he's respectful post flop. He's pretty easy to play against, like the rest of the table actually. Here it's typically the kind of hand I don't want to see bet. It hits his range, and also I have a nice hand to bluff catch. What can he bet here? He can have weaker draws, he can even have hands like 7-6 or draws also, so I'm obviously going to call.
Doing Brian Needham, you takes care. Literally has to be yesterday. Like Gold State Warriors, I don't know. What's his name?
Oh no, he wants to bet here.
Bet 2,200.
He bets quite big here. I don't think I'm going to be able to call.
Off a rainbow.
I'm still going to think about it a bit. He's a bit of a loose player. He can have gut shots and feel obligated to bluff.
Maybe like you walk a little bit before I could have it.
His crossed arms and his attitude made me think it's a bluff. But at the same time, I can't find many bluffs here. Queen nines or sixes. The flush came in. I don't know if I can call this. His attitude doesn't look very comfortable. That makes me want to call, but I don't like to rely on that alone. I haven't observed him long enough. He immediately crossed his arms. He leaned back. He looks pretty uncomfortable. I don't beat many hands though. I can't find enough bluffs. He's the kind of player who doesn't bluff enough. I'm gonna give him credit this time. It's a small pot, no big deal. If you're bluffing, well played.
Bluff.
It was a bit close actually.
Wait, I think it's here, right?
I see them give up their bluffs too often to try to pull off hero calls at level 1 without a particular read. I'm not beating enough bluffs. Mind you, his attitude didn't look very comfortable, but I can't rely only on tells early in the tournament. I'm not confident enough. Once again, he min raises from the button. Alright, I'm going to call with 4-5. I really want to play a lot of hands against them. See flops.
3 players. Check around.
They all check, a rather good sign. Here I've hit a 4. I think the button would have bet if he had a king. He would have hesitated to bet if he had a jack. I can bet here for protection, a tiny bet.
We don't how you protect your letter of king. Yeah. And then we can not deny responses.
What's up?
Like a 5.
I'm beating a few hands, a few draws.
So yeah.
Ah, he has a 4 like me. We're chopping.
Four?
It's a split, right?
I'm happy.
Chop, chop.
Chop, chop, yeah.
I'm doing better. I tied you.
Prison. Stop the 7.
Could you pass me your hand?
Yeah.
Sorry. Arms are a little
Oh,
short.
you're good, baby. You're doing great.
Yeah, I don't for those things. The braces before cross.
All right, there was a showdown with 4-5 offsuit for my image. Why not? They must think I'm very loose aggressive, which will help me when I hit big hands. All right, a marginal hand in the hijack, but I'm going to open it. I can really play a lot of hands at this table, I think.
Worse and worse for me, man. Turn in the fucking heart. I think I had you before then.
Huh?
I think I had you before then.
I think I
The
turned
stud player calls on the button.
If you hit the 8, you turn.
it really rivers.
Did you
That's
really?
good. I'm fine playing it
Turned in,
multi-way.
You gotta make the flush. Ace, add enough flush draw. Turn the ace too.
I knew it too. I figured I'd try to represent that 8. Maybe you're fucking fucking do it.
Yeah, 2 tens or something.
I've completely missed the
Yeah,
flop.
2 8s or 10s or something.
I'm not going to c-bet on this flop. It can hit the opponent's ranges too hard.
I know you had a good hand.
Well, I mean, I think that, you know, the ace is gonna come. I should have just shut down that baby. It's a tough one.
The
Bet
big
one
blind
time.
leads. I'm obviously going to fold.
Not the direction I want to be going right now.
That's interesting. I haven't seen these two players play many hands yet. It's important to observe carefully.
Bet
He
1,000.
bets a quarter of the pot. He calls.
Kings and fives.
Ah, top pair, yeah.
Five are big.
This player in grey seems fairly passive. Loose passive. He calls a bit too much. He probably has a jack. I'm not sure if it was a good call on the turn.
Raise 600.
All right. Ace king in the big blind against a raise and a call. It's a very strong hand. I'm hesitating between calling or squeezing. I think I'm somewhat obliged to squeeze though.
28.
It's way too weak to just call, and especially since I have value against hands like ace queen, king queen suited. He seems like a station. Not him, but the other player seems like a pretty big call-in station.
Trying to play a big pot, huh?
After that tanking, he's clearly going to fold. And him, he calls. Older Americans often put you on ace-king when you squeeze or you're aggressive.
Heads up.
That's the reason I'd considered just calling, to disguise my hand. But this deep, I really can't. Oh dear, the flop is awful. Oh dear, that's the worst flop. I don't even know if I want to c-bet. Yeah, I think I have to c-bet a tiny sizing. If he has a hand like a pair of black fives, he's going to struggle to call. I'm going to bet very small. We'll reevaluate on the turn.
17.
Bet 1,700.
He calls, that's not looking good. On a heart, I'll be tempted to continue bluffing though. The 3 of hearts. I think I can bet small again. He has too many hands that can fold. It's too profitable to make a small 1/4 pot bet. If I make him fold top pair, a pair of black 8s, jack queen of clubs, alright.
26.
Bet 2,600.
Small bet, come on, fold, 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 fold. If he calls here, I don't think I'm going to be able to continue though. He's checking his cards. That's a rather good sign. He would have been more discreet if he had a big heart, or he wouldn't have checked at all. Oh, good news, let's go. Cool. Alright, a small bluff. Bluffing wasn't the plan, but sometimes there's no choice. Here was a good spot. The bet sizes were small, but which offered a very profitable risk reward. A new player at the table, unfortunately a young guy. A young guy. I don't know him, but I was feeling good there with my friend, 6-handed. Well, it shouldn't be too bad either.
Bet
At
1,200.
first glance, I get the impression he's a young American. That's a bit less dangerous than having a young European on your left, who's capable of making big bluffs. Americans, even the young ones, bluff a bit less. They're often more competent than the older players, but they don't bluff that much.
Reopen him.
Ace deuce of clubs. I'm going to open this hand. It's really the kind of hand I want to play at level 1 of the main event. You can hit the nuts. And this stud player 3 bets on the button. I'm obviously going to call. He had already 3 bet me when I had ace 8 of hearts. Maybe he has a somewhat tight aggressive profile and he 3 bets his hands. Rather tight aggressive, unlike the others who seem rather tight passive, some loose passive. That's a very nice flop though. I have top pair, I have a flush draw. And this is the kind of hand I'm comfortable check calling nice and easy. Watch the sizing carefully. I think if he has pocket kings, he's going to bet really small if he has an overpair.
1,200.
1,200. That could still be pocket kings, pocket queens, pocket jacks, but it could also be plenty of other hands. I think he can have still ace king, ace queen, king queen, of course. I think I'm doing okay against his range, but I'd like to hit a club. That would be nice. Alright, here though, I'm definitely going to call again, but if he bets, that's going to worry me a bit. My kicker isn't very good. Oh dear, he's setting up an overbet. Whoa. He overbets. That's annoying. I wasn't expecting that. Whoa. Instead though, we play limit. I didn't know stud players knew about overbets. Whoa. He still often has ace king, ace queen, those kinds of hands. He could even have ace 10, a set of 10s. Whoa. At the same time, it's tough to fold. I can improve. And from time to time, he can be bluffing with hands like king queen. The simple fact that he overbets makes me think he's perhaps a bit more competent than I thought. In any case, I can't see myself folding here. I have a hand that's too strong. I'm not especially happy about it, but I'm going to call. I think if he has ace king or ace queen, he's going to bet big to check a lot on the river. I can have strong hands myself, like sets. So yeah, I'm going to call. Come on, a club, come on. A club would have been nice. Come on, check back, check back, check back. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, check back. Yes, alright, let's hope that wins. Don't show me ace queen. Wow. Yes. Ah, great, this is an important part. It's quite big actually for the first level. Winning those 20,000 chips worth 1/3 of the starting stack was important. What could he have? Maybe he had a hand like king queen. He could have had king queen of clubs too. He can have king jack, king queen, even offsuit maybe.
Well played, Dav. That's quite the kickoff. Full of energy, packed with strong hands and big pots. We couldn't have hoped for a better start to settle in with you for the most beautiful tournament in the world. The first level of the main event isn't even over yet, and you've already climbed to a stack of 85,000. That's over 420 blinds right from the start. A stack that promises plenty more fireworks in the next episode of Inside the Mind of a Pro.